What's up, guys? Sub-Zero here, back for another VOD review. Today is release day in, Americas and everywhere else that didn't get it early because time zones are fake. I don't know how the world works. So, happy release day. Hope you guys have been playing Set 16, enjoying it. I played some and streamed some today, had an absolute blast. This set is so good. Oh my god, they did such a good job with this set, honestly. And I feel like the balance is great from the start. There are definitely a few little knobs that you can tweak and twist and turn and any such T words that you want to use. But overall, very, very good meta. So today we're going to VOD review one of the ranked 1 and 2 players on the North American server. Okay, we're gonna VOD review rank 1 Setsuko, but it's funny that Dish Soap and Setsuko, these two guys, always just the best ladder grinders out there, are rank 1 and 2 respectively. We have to VOD review Setsuko because one, he's rank 1, a little bit higher LP than Mr. Dish Soap, though one game more than him. So honestly, Dish Soap could go first and overtake him. But the other crazy thing about Setsuko is, obviously look at his scores here, great scores, only a couple of 7s here and a boatload of firsts. But if you look up here at the units that he plays, one thing shines out here is crazy to me. Out of his last 20 games, he has played Shyvana on his board 20 games. He has played 20 Shyvana games out of his last 20, 16 Swain games, 13 Lucian Senna, 13 Vi, 12 Nico. So you're seeing some kind of commonalities here. And so I wanted to VOD review Setsuko today to show off some of these, commonalities and how he is, so consistently playing around these super, super high cap win out boards. And I mean, it's what Setsuko is the best at. It is going fast 9. It is winning out games and understanding how to cap his board. So it's no surprise that he is doing this every single game of the set. And I will say this is a great thing for you to do if you are just in your first few games and you think maybe I'm a little bit better than the people I'm in the lobby with. Then you can totally do this yourself and oftentimes farm people. So we start off here with kind of a mishmash of units here. We have the Nico, but nothing crazy going on right now. Shen 2 is a nice pickup here. We have the Aphelios, who I don't think most people are, jumping out of bed to itemize, but he is a great utility unit that you can play for. So, maybe something down the line that we can play for. We will see. Itemization wise, the only kind of awkward thing is we have this kind of AD opener and we have all these AP items. And yeah, he actually opts to sell here to pick up a Teemo just so that we might actually have one kind of AP item holder here. Salvage bin, Heavy's the Crown, birthday reunion here. I don't know of any Heavy's the Crown comps. Salvage bin, I think, is one that people rate very, very highly. But Setsuko is going to look at a different direction, which is this new birthday reunion. You get a 2-star 2 cost. When you reach level 6, you get a TG. When you reach level 9, you get a 2-star 5 cost. I mean, it's everything that Setsuko could ever want. It's tempo, it's fast 9. So it makes perfect sense that he would take this. I think people rate this one pretty highly, and it makes sense, right? It gives you everything, right? Not only does it give you kind of like tempo, like these augments that give you early upgrades too, but it also gives you an item and then a 2-star 5 cost at 9. So I think very, very solid here. And we pick up a Tristana too. So that is who we're going to kind of have to play around in this early game. Looking at kind of like items in this spot here. I mean, I am already kind of afraid of what we have to slam here, perhaps like a Crown Guard. Protector's Vow, certainly good if we want to be playing for that Swain later down the line. There's a Warpath player, another Birthday Reunion player, the whole lobby actually taking augments like this. And yeah, Protector's Vow is going to come down here with the idea that it's a good slam. We know that there's pretty good odds, once again, 13 out of 20 that we'll have a Swain on our board later, and Swain really, really loves this Protector's Vow item. So that's great for him. So I mean, yeah, there's no reason to not really pick this up here. We pick up a Lowy 2. So this is a great opener for Setsuko. This is a quintessential Setsuko game here where we have a few early upgrades. We slam some good items. I will say, by the way, if you guys are doing your climb right now, you should 1,000,000,000% be happy to just make any slam that you have. Just slam items very aggressively, because so many games on ladder in the first few days, you're just going to win by being stronger than everybody else, by just having your item slammed and just tempoing, while all these other people sit around and like, oh, what's BIS this unit? What should I build on this? Just slam your items, and I promise you the wins will follow. We do have an Aphelios now, who looks like our next in, very likely here. Do have the ability to actually pre-level and make 10 if we win this fight. So Setsi really trying to win this fight. Also keeps scouting that horrifying person who has a 2-star Rek'Sai here. Yeah, I would be very, very afraid of this person, because Rek'Sai, I think, is a monster in the early game with items. And yeah, she's just going to clear our entire board here. Yeah, I mean, Dasik here hit a beautiful 2-2. So honestly, I'm actually, this is not the best. And wow, there's a Draven too as well here. Setsuko, very animated always, so always fun to watch him. Looking at the IE off carousel, but can't get it, so is forced to take glove here. It's a 3-cost glove, so we can be happy with it. But the only slam that we have here would be TG, which is, it's kind of interesting. We'll see if he wants to make TG slam here. We have lost our streak, so it's not like we have to slam to keep streak. So there's actually a very big, trade-off versus not trade-off. We could make this slam here and be a lot stronger, maybe win some fights, save some HP, or we can not make this slam and potentially greed for stuff like IE Last Whisper. So yeah, we're gonna rotate into another very strong board. My God, Scion too. This lobby is just nutty. I mean, this is a high elo lobby. All the players have just decided to spawn in 2-star units, but I mean, hey, we're gonna actually pick up the fight win here versus NordVPN too. Not sponsored at all, by the way. Though, I wouldn't say no if you're the head marketing person for NordVPN and you have like a big pile of money. I mean, seems like a pretty good product. All right. He's looking at the TG slam now because he does want to protect his 2 streak here. And yeah, he rotates in the Warpath player and slams it immediately. I think this is it's a very Setsuko decision, but a very smart decision here to say, I can break this guy's ability to win the fight with Warpath, and 2, I can, give myself a 2 streak here, which is very, very nice. So yeah, we pick up this win here, trying to figure out what our next in on this board is. Certainly Ionia, is the one that actually fits on the board here. We don't have a ton of itemized Ionia units here. And actually, I was gonna, give myself if we don't play Ionia, I won't check what Ionia it is. But I do feel like our next in is probably Ionia, so I feel like we're gonna have to check it here. But it was one with HP, honestly. It's the one with HP, which I can go find in like 2 seconds probably. Okay, I went back and checked. It's the 3-star one, which people, if you don't 3-star unit, this is just 10% more HP on your units, which is literally like nothing, basically. So makes sense that Setsuko is very unimpressed by potentially getting Ionia in. So is just gonna play this board for now, and I don't know what his next in will be. Octoslam Warmogs here. Only other, slammable would have been Morello, and I think the Warmogs as a second tank item is really, really nice to combine with the stats from the Protector's Vow. We're just gonna go for an early level to 6 here, so we get our TG made, and we're gonna throw it onto the Alawi. Note that he checked his TG there before slamming it, so that he could slam it onto whatever unit has the highest value. Most of the time, it was gonna go onto Alawi anyway, I would say, just because she is a 2-star unit. But hey, might as well check it there. It's literally free real estate. All right. Next augment here, Seraphim Staff. Don't think so. It's a cool new augment, but I don't think it's what we're going to take in this spot here. Mess Hall I've actually seen people take a lot higher these days. Now it's downgraded, but it's a gold augment and it procs at 10 seconds in combat. So if you can make it to 10 seconds in combat, I think this augment's actually pretty solid. I took it in one of my games, it felt good. Know Your Enemy, I think, is also totally solid. We do see forward thinking though. So as far as Econ augments, we do have that. We do see this new golden dragon one, which is very cool. I think you need a very specific spot to take it, but 500 health and 20% durability is a lot. But yeah, we are gonna roll over these. Gold Destiny Care, all great options, honestly. Wouldn't be shocked to see him take any of these. I would be tempted, as always, just to take a Gold Destiny because it's an augment and it's got 6 gold attached to it. But forward thinking is definitely a solid option as well, since we've already pushed to 6. The kind of really nice thing about this is we're already level 6 here. So usually the problem with forward thinking is that you get stuck on level 5 and you're just like, okay, I have to be a bit weaker this stage. Because we early level to 6, we're actually like using none of the downside to forward thinking, obviously losing all of our econ, but the combat downside is not there whatsoever. And the econ will obviously repair itself once we get our money back, plus the added interest of the forward thinking here. Think about Belveth here, and yeah, Setsuko just going to say immediately, I would rather play around this than the Tristana here. We're going to throw the Void upgrade onto her. Wow, just totally pivot the board here. Actually going to play 2 Targon here. This is what Setsuko is so good at, though, is just seeing 1 upgrade onto his board and just totally pivoting out of everything here. So he says, you know what, no need for me to play Gunslinger anymore. I'll just play the Zoe here. Not that, I'm doing a lot of magic damage on this board, but Zoe also provides chill, so she's just a good unit to throw on your board in general, and she herself is a little bit of magic damage. And Belveth, a very, very solid item holder in this stage 3, early stage 4 phase of the game. So great pickup for Mr. Sucko there. Next question is what we are looking at slamming here. I mean, I would look at like a Morello here, or you could take damage at him out of, it could even be Last Whisper. Maybe it's just Gwinsu's Rage Blade. The real question at this point is what is Setsuko actually playing for? You know, what comp does he want to play in this spot? Because we've seen him, you know, so good. I've talked about it multiple times about these kind of like Fast 9 style ideas. So he's going to make a Gwinsu's Rage Blade. There are a lot of variations of Fast 9 out there these days. I would say the most dominant one and the one that a lot of people are playing around is this Lucian / Senna and Kindred variation where you're just playing them as your kind of duo carries and you play a lot of support units around them. So it seems like after the nerfs to Mel, Medarda, that comp is like a little bit lower favor. You definitely still see people play around it, and there is even, you know, Fast 9 Annie stuff, Fast 9 Silas type stuff. There's so many Fast 9s, which is exactly what I think Riot kind of wanted out of this set, is they wanted, you know, all these different ways to Fast 9. But I would say the dominant variation, you know, if you could handpick anything, and oh, I'd love for him to team player on a comp here, though I doubt that Annie is real here. I mean, maybe he is thinking about this, but I would be surprised with only a Gwinsu as our only, you know, mana item. I mean, interestingly enough, he is kind of team plannering this board out. It's an interesting team planner just because, yeah, I mean, I feel like Annie is really only playable from a lot of mana regen. We do have the Gwinsu's Rage Blade, which is mana regen in many ways, so, you know, something worth thinking about. And aside from that, he is throwing all those other, you know, solid units onto the board. He has the Lucian Senna on the board, and also has the Nico Swain, where Nico Swain Vi is a really, really nice core. Nico Swain Vi Shyvana is really that 4-unit core that is what Setsuko is playing around almost every single game. Any chance he can, he's playing around this core of 4 units. So that is where a lot of that is coming from. All right, we do need to figure out what the rest of our items are going to be in this slot, actually, because we got, I would look at Kraken Morello here. Kraken scales with the Gwinsu. It's going to be good onto good onto anyone, honestly. The glove could end up even being a Last Whisper here, but I don't know if you want to prioritize that before prioritizing some actual damage items. So that's what I'd be looking at here, Kraken Morello here. And yep, that is going to be the double slam from Setsuko. I am exactly the same person. Well, I am exactly the TFT player that Setsuko is. Yeah, nice try. Now, really just waiting to get our gold from our forward thinking at this point. 53 HP. We're getting quite low for Mr. Sucko here. And that's also something that you see in a lot of his games, is that he gets low. He does not mind getting low whatsoever. He is totally fine, you know, taking a ton of damage, going down to 1 HP, because he's very, very confident that he can make these pivots and win out. And, well, we'll see what happens this game. Spear's Will, best friends, Mace's Will. I mean, Spear's Will is a great IE. I would be really tempted to just grab the Spear's Will and take IE here. He does find Bronze for Life, which was nerfed pretty significantly, but this is something else you see out of Setsuko, is he's really happy still to take Bronze for Life these days, is going to level up here, and he does actually have, you know, 2 options in this spot. He can sack 2 and do a pretty poor level 9, or he can roll down here on 8, and I mean, you're watching Setsuko, you know what the answer is. He knows we're 41 HP here. Ooh, we're gonna go 9 now, actually, to collect our 2-star 5 cost from our augment, and we actually get Zillion, which is kind of weird here. Whoa, Gwinsu, Kraken, Morello on the Zillion here. So yeah, I mean, he makes the call that says, I can make it a 9 here. I'm gonna be quite broke, but having a 2-star 5 cost will likely stabilize me. Zillion, I think, among probably one of the worst ones for us to pick up here, does pick up a Wukong that he can play around. Wukong pair, actually. He does hold on to this Yunar unit a decent amount, I've seen on his roll downs. Does have set as well, guaranteed here by solo frontlining the Wukong here. Does also pick up the Kindred in his shop, at least. Picks up, you know, not fielded onto the board yet, but is considering that. And so, wow, Setsuko, I mean, very, very quick at doing these types of pivots and things like this. Has got his board kind of half pivoted this round. Would be really nice if we could get a scammed win out of this fight, though I don't think we're going to be able to, because we are in a quite... Oh my god, never mind. Never mind. The Zillion actually just farms the entire board. That is huge here. There is Yunar pair here if we want it. There is an Azir here if we want it. There's a Spat as well if we want it. Wow, he's going to take Spat. Spat, once again, I've talked about this before, but not an item that I think a lot of people like that much these days, just because of the reduced power of verticals here. All right, let's finish pivoting the board. We do pick up Shiv here, which we've talked about before. Huge for Mr. Setsuko here. Going to get Seraphine in here. Going to grab the EMP there. Actually, it's kind of important. Let's go back and look at all of his options under Piltover there. Honestly, I can just bring this round down to 1x speed here, just because there is a lot still going on, I would say. Because EMP has been nerfed pretty significantly, but still a decent option here. So we're going to sell the Belvet at this point. Also really trying to figure out Bronze for Life here. So yeah, Continuum Cogs, a really great option if you are playing into things like Invokers. Tuned Oscillator, I think, is just not that great unless you have a really specific spot for it. I did take it today, actually, and had a really fun game with it, but I don't know if I would call it good. There's Azir, which is a good disruptor onto this board here. So we're getting our traits in quite nicely here. And his idea is that, I mean, with this Bronze for Life that he loves to play towards so much, wow, he's going to, yeah, I mean, Remover the Wukong here just to ensure that we, you know, keep it, because Wukong too is going to potentially save our lives here, and we slam our items in the correct spots here. So, wow, I mean, certainly a bit of a turn, but now our board is looking a lot more stable here. Hope we can win the fight. The one thing that we are missing at this point is just frontline. Our frontline is a Wukong 1 right now, which we do really need to get off of. But I mean, I really love the idea of immediately my cat stepped on my keyboard and jumped to the end of the VOD, I think. Okay, we're back. Please, kitty, please. I'm dying out here. Picks up the Fiddlesticks here. Going to now... Wow, he went for the full Reforge in the Kraken and got Shojin, and then Reforge into the pan here is going to make Vanquisher spat. I mean, is this Setsuko guy just a beast or what? Like, he's actually got so many traits in here now. Like, I don't know how many it is, because it's 5 traits, you know, obviously on the board right now, but this is missing stuff like... Ooh, I mean, even two Shurima that could come in with the Renekton. Can we fit the Renekton? But yeah, we're missing definitely Piltover on, you know, the traits list on the left here. What else do we have in? Actually, do we have Defender there? It's not that many extra traits, but it's still a very, very nice board here. But yeah, I mean, fantastic little kind of just flex play here. Opted to take the glove because he wanted the Steadfast Heart here. What is going on around I don't know. I'm like hearing a noise behind me. I'm kind of losing it. Is there a monster in my room? Oh my God, Renekton 2. He skips Renekton 2 here, actually. That was a real Renekton 2, right? That wasn't like I'm not losing my mind here. He had well, or was it just 2 Renektons in shop because he had just unlocked? No, that was a real Renekton 2 if he wanted here. Opts to not buy the Renekton 2 because he says, I can't fit this on this board. The only thing you could maybe drop out of Vanquisher, but then obviously you've lost an entire spat essentially here. So yeah, is going to opt to say, wow, I don't want to build Renekton 2 because, I mean, you look at this board, right? Obviously we have to play around the Zillion, which means, you know, we kind of have to get Invoker in via the Koboko, which means we have to play around the Wukong. And, you know, this triple set of units kind of have to exist on the board here. Now, after that, we must field basically Nico, Vi, Seraphine, and Azir, because these also provide a bunch of fantastic traits to us. I guess the only thing you could have cut for this is Shyvana 1 for Renekton 2 here, but he said I would actually, you know, prefer the Shyvana 1 here. Wow, that's crazy to me. Does pick up a Azir 2 on the roll down and Wukong 2. Oh my God, our board is finally stabilizing here. Looking for, I guess, yeah, last Zillion item, and then, which is going to be Void Staff, and then we're going to move the Morello up to the, wow, actually onto the Wukong here. Just, I mean, he's got pretty good AoE, so he applies it pretty nicely. Look at this board. I mean, this board is so creative, but you can see how it came about, right? And you can see how we got here. Like you can see the game plan planned out by Setsuko, right? The taking multiple econ augments here into the Bronze for Life, capping out high after using multiple econ augments around just, you know, the units that make sense on this board. I mean, he freestyled this board. I doubt that this is a board that Setsuko has been, you know, thinking about ahead of time, but I mean, certainly looks really, really nice here. The other thing, obviously, that is really, really crucial here is if we could find that Swain, that other last piece of Exodia, as far as these utility units go, that would be so nice. That'd be Jug and Arcanist onto our board, and Arcanist is a team-wide buff. Now, we are going to take a pretty rough loss here to Citadel Gaming's Robin Songs here. Yeah, just kind of a rough fight here. I mean, I would be in the phase of my life where I would just say I have to roll down here because I'm like, I don't want to die here, and I'm literally 1 off Shyvana 2, which could be a very, very significant upgrade here. But Setsuko, I mean, he knows his limits. He knows that his board is strong enough in this spot to survive here. So he's just going to say, I'm going to sit on this board. That fight versus Robin Songs was a fluke. Like, I am stronger than most people, almost maybe everyone else in this lobby here. He is also 3 out of 5 of the way to finding the Zerath here. I would be quite surprised if we make it there, but it would be quite hilarious if we did. I mean, we have Sterak's here as a potential take. We also have even Shroud here. We have Warmogs. Warmogs. I guess it's Warmogs for the Wukong. Just get a super tanky Wukong, and then we're moving over the Morello here. I guess that's the idea. Where is Morello really going? Oh, there's Senolution as well. Another one of these units that you really prioritize highly, but he finds the Swain, has exactly enough gold to level with the Zillion XP here. And yeah, he's going to move the Morello down to Seraphine. Okay, yeah, she's a good applier of it. The downside is obviously that she's got no mana gen right now, but we're going to level here and get 2 more traits in with the Sway, and we're going to get Sork and the Juggernaut here. So, I mean, this is just bread and butter Setsuko, but he added a pretty cool little twist to it where he's playing around the Zillion this game because we got it off our augment here, and you can see the Zillion is doing work here. 11,000 damage, just bombing everybody on this board here, giving us that inevitability. We unlock Volibear here. I don't think we want to lose bronze for life for one, just for an unitemized Volibear. I don't think it's better. And yeah, I guess if you had Volibear too, it could come over the Wukong, but not really, right? I mean, you need a main tank, and Wukong is certainly going to be tankier than a Volibear, even a Volibear too. So I do think this is our setup here. I just got really afraid for a second, by the way, that all my kitty's mischief had like muted my mic because I like glanced over at my mic and I thought it was red. It has like a red glow when it gets muted, but it's fine. We are, I mean, you guys are watching the VOD, obviously. All right, another win from Setsuko, and I mean, at this point, it looks like we're just coasting to a top 4 here. Obviously, we're already level 10, so there's not really, you know, much more that we can do as far as pushing levels to cap at this board. We can really just roll for 2-star 5 cost. Last one that we're looking for is the Shyvana and the Fiddlesticks, so hopefully we can pick those guys up. And I mean, this is probably just gonna be our board. He does hold on to the Renekton here, so well, and then he sells it immediately. I don't know, I'd love to fit Renekton onto this board. I wonder, had he not had the Vanquisher spat, ooh, this is nice as well. Move a mana gen item, kind of the worst mana gen item, the Gwinsu's, away from the Zillion. Throw it onto the Shyvana actually here, just because we need items onto her, and I mean, where else are we gonna put it? I could throw it onto Seraphine, I guess, but I mean, the Shyvana too is certainly gonna be a better holder of it. And yeah, we've hit our max cap board. We rotate into Robin again, who has this very, very strong kind of fast 9 board as well, but the bombs explode. Oh my god. Robin still alive here, but top 4 locked in for Setsuko here. Picks up the Swain too as well in the roll down. Would you ever consider moving Vow? I've seen people move like Vow off of units just to keep it onto the Swain here, just to get him to cast. Looks like Setsuko is not a fan of that kind of game plan. He would much rather just consolidate his items and say that that's good TFT. All right, another high capped board here out of Kurum X here with a kind of a cool Ionia Sal board. The Zillion just doing insane work though, bombing the entire board, and we have so much frontline to work with. My god. One of the things I will say about Setsuko is, you know, he understands the function of all these units, right? I mean, a lot of these 5 costs this set are utility 5 costs. I played a game recently around Shyvana where I tried to primary carry her. That was my last game on stream, and then I realized I probably need to go to sleep. This unit is a very nice utility unit. If you haven't read Shyvana's trait, read that. It is essentially damage reduction for your entire board, which is really, really, really valuable. So that's what Shyvana does, and then you can throw a TG onto her. You can throw extra items onto her, but you don't really want to, you know, have her be your primary carry. Oh my god, huge cast out of the Fiddlesticks as well here. Top 2 locked in for Setsuko. Not top 1 just yet. The clone there loses versus Kurum. But I mean, we're looking pretty good. We were win streaking hard. That's a GS for Shiv. Or is he going to take some? Oh, what did he end up taking here? Ended up getting a Warmogs here, which is not ideal. We do hit a Senate too, but is it actually stronger than anything? This is a fantastic unit, but what is it actually stronger than? I mean, once again, yeah, I don't think you could actually cut anything here. So yeah, he's just going to Warmogs onto the Swain and fight, hopefully, one more fight versus Kurum here. All right, so decent cast out of Shiv. The Fiddle also doing a lot of work here. Just all these units, you know, contribute to a very strong board. The Fiddle bombing the whole board. Ooh, this fight actually looks pretty rough. And oh my god, we dropped down to 1 HP. So this will be the final fight here. Guaranteed, both players are going... Well, either player is going to die for this fight. He has nowhere in Rulers, so he can't swap around TGs or anything like that, and doesn't actually roll the bestest of items here. Does second row Fiddle this time, just to make sure that he's not, you know, dying too quickly, and wants to make sure nothing too important is getting setted. Does look like his Wukong's going to get setted onto his entire backline. That looks so bad, actually. He is looking, oh, God. Yeah, you can't watch. You cannot watch here. So a very, very nice top 2 from Setsuko. Not the dub, but a really, really cool board. This is just a total cook from Setsuko, showing, playing around these cores of units and, how to play around them, but also flexing and other stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch, Metafy, all my links down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching as always.